All right. So if you guys have questions, like I said, chat box on the side, and we are going to get into our official week one kickoff to launch to lead. We are so excited. You guys have been doing freaking amazing. Your whys that you came on live with, you guys, were so inspiring to us, and it just makes us, like, I know I can speak for Colleen, it just makes us want to be a better leader to you just from like hearing your story and why you're in this, because you're going to see too, as you bring people on and you are able to help them live their dreams, it's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. So to see why you guys are in this and where you want to take that, it really helps us as your leaders, you know, to know how we can help you. So you guys have been doing awesome. So all of last week we had the prep week, okay? You know, this was just getting set up for it. This week we're going to kind of dive into some more things, some really awesome challenges. We love that you guys have been going outside your comfort zone, and that's something that's just never going to end. And I think even when you're confident, you're going to have moments in your business where you still feel uncomfortable. Like, to be honest with you, my follow-up, not that like I'm okay not hearing no. My thing is just like time. Like, I don't like time being wasted. So I would rather not follow up with somebody because they ignored my message. Like, that's what gets to me, where I'm like, ugh, that was just such a waste of time. So like, it just, point being is that I get hung up on things too. And that's just an example. But like, you know, feeling like outside your comfort zone, or feeling like there are things that you don't want to do, or something that's just going to always happen in your business. Okay. So this week we are going to be jumping right in. You guys ready for this? Recruiting! Sponsoring! Woohoo! This is literally probably the biggest subject that we hear as leaders on things that people want to know, but it's also the number one thing that people will not do because they don't, one, know how to do it, or two, they don't think they're good enough, or that they can do it, or they have whatever fear is setting in their head. So I just want to tell you guys right now, you are all capable of sponsoring people. You are all capable of recruiting people. Whether you have already, you're capable of continuing to do that and building massive, successful teams. Right now, you guys are absolutely capable of that 100%, but it all starts in your mindset, okay? So sponsoring, okay? This is going to be, how many of you have recruited anybody before? Just a FYI. Good for you. That's awesome. So it's going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, thing you can do for your business, okay? So they say PRV is for today, parties are for tomorrow, and team building is lifetime income. I might have shared this with you guys already. But what that means is your PRV that you have set up, that you're trying to get, the orders that you're collecting, that's going to set your paycheck. That's going to be your paycheck, right? Like, that's your PRV for today. Your parties are for tomorrow's income. You're setting it up on your calendar. You're getting it insured for your income in the future for tomorrow. And then team building is literally lifetime income, because the more you grow this business, the more your foundation grows, the more success you see in your business, the more stable it becomes, and the more consistent income you're getting every month. You know, I mean, there's so many rewarding things that come along with growing a team. You know, like I said, you get to see your team members coming in and living their dreams, and that's just so fulfilling on its own. But if we're just strictly talking finances here, like, you literally have unlimited potential in the amount of money that you can make as a Scentsy consultant, like, by growing a team and growing a business, okay? Because when you come into this, you are an essential consultant, and then you get certified, and maybe you're certified right now, and that's excellent, right? It's a great milestone for you to hit, but you're just getting your percentages on the PRV that you have, like the parties that you're doing. And that's great. And I think, like I said, we kind of touched on this on our intro call, but like, there's literally like a cap on the amount of money that you can make as a certified consultant. So all around, team building is going to be one of the best things that you can do, because you're creating that legacy. And you know what, guys, you're all in this program because you want to get to at least lead consultant, right? Or above. And the way to do that is sponsoring. It's literally with sponsoring. And more than likely at least one person, or definitely at least one person. If you want to get to lead, you're not going to be able to get to lead consultant if you don't have at least one person on your team. So we're going to talk about recruiting tonight. We're going to talk about sponsoring. And this week, we're going to be giving you guys challenges based on our call this week and help you guys in growing and, you know, sharing the business opportunity with people and recruiting people and all that stuff. Okay. So, let's talk about, sorry, I made my notes and I actually had to run downstairs. Okay, so let's talk about some of the different ways that that I recruit, or that you can recruit, okay? There are multiple ways. Now, I just did a training on social media just a little bit ago, but I also kind of went into recruiting throughout the training, because it's just something that I do, where my business is something that I talk about all the time. I'm always sharing the business opportunity in every aspect of my business, whether it's coupons that I'm making for my hosts, whether it's home parties that I'm doing, Facebook parties that I'm doing, posting on social media, conversations that I'm having with people at events, you know, like whatever that is, I'm always talking about the business opportunity. And I think when you lead with the business opportunity and then fall back on hosting or buying at that point, you're going to see the turnaround much more. Okay, so let's say, for instance, I'm at a home party. I like to share my story. We talked about this, the why, going live on your personal page. Like, people are going to connect to your story in so many ways because you don't know who they're going to connect to. I tend to recruit a lot of stay-at-home moms and people who want to be a stay-at-home mom, because that's what I am. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And so people see that, they know my story. I share that with them. I tell them I joined Scentsy as a way to make some extra cash when I was on maternity leave. And you may have people who you come into on a day-to-day basis who may resonate with that, you know? And so like at home parties, I'll share my story. And then I've had where people at the end will be like, oh, hey, I know that you did this when you were on maternity leave, and I'm actually pregnant and I'm supposed to go back to work. So, like, you know, can you tell me how you got started in this? But if I didn't share my story, if I didn't tell them, how else would they know? Okay. Like I said, customer service in packaging that I do, I will put like my story, I'll put pictures of me and my family. I'll show that I'm a stay-at-home mom now. When I post on social media, I will take a picture of like me and my kids in the background, and you know, put like, I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I've been able to stay home with my children, hashtag work at home mom life. And then people are like, work at home mom life, like, I want to do that too. What's up with that, you know? But there's just so many different ways to share the business opportunity. But I think no matter what, it's just something that you have to do. And I think that people have like a script, or they always want a script. They're always like, what do I say? What do I do? There's no secret sauce, you guys, whatsoever to recruiting. I'm going to let you know that right now. It's something that you just have to do. You just have to get out there and start talking to people. So what you should start off with, okay, and we're going to kind of get into a whole bunch of things, but start off, I always say, I tell my team, think of about 10 to 15 ways that Scentsy has blessed your life, and write them down on paper. Use them in your journal notebooks that you have. Think about what Scentsy's doing for you now, okay? Has it given you more confidence? You know, are you able to stay home? Are you working from home? Are you doing it on the side? Are you even just able to get your nails done once a month? I think we touched on this a little bit. You know, think about how Scentsy has blessed your life. And that is how you lead with the business opportunity and share those things with people, okay? So let's say I'm having a conversation with somebody, you know, about, I don't know, I'm just trying to think. Like, let's say there's somebody who can, you know, wants to get out of the house. Like I'm talking to a potential recruit, and she's like cooped up in her house. She's a stay-at-home mom. She's feeling stretched in a million ways. And so, you know, as I'm chatting with her, she would tell me that, right? Because the thing is too, you guys, you have to make sure that when you are recruiting, you are asking why they're interested in joining Scentsy. And there's nothing wrong with asking why somebody would be interested in joining Scentsy, because you need to know why they want to join, so you can better then tell them and how Scentsy will be a benefit in their life. But if you're not asking them, it's going to be very hard for them to resonate with anything. Like, let's say you have someone who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, but you're not really listening to that, or you're not really asking them that. And you're like, girl, I just earned a trip. Like, you could too, but they don't even care about traveling. That's not going to resonate with them. Okay. So I always like the simplest way you can ask somebody is say, so what is it about Scentsy that sparks your interest? That's like literally what I say to every single person that I talk to about the business opportunity. What is it about Scentsy that sparks your interest? And usually they'll say things like, oh, you know, I saw these, you know, I saw you earning that trip. Like you may have people who are interested in things like that. Or, you know, I see that you quit your job and you're able to work from home. Can you tell me more? And then when they tell me why they're interested, that's how I can better let them know. And when they have those objections, because this is the thing, people are going to have fears and reservations and wondering how they're going to be able to do this too, you can rest their fears aside by sharing your own experiences. Again, you're going back to that 10 to 15 things, the way that Scentsy has blessed your life. You're sharing your own experiences and you're resting their fears aside. So for instance, if I'm, you know, talking to somebody, like I said, she's cooped up in the house and she wants to get out. And she's like, oh, you know, I could just really use some girl time. I'm caught up in the house. If I say, so what is it about Scentsy that sparks your interest? Well, you know, I could really use some girl time. I'm just caught up in the house with my babies. And, you know, I just feel like I'm stretched in a million different ways. That's when I would say you find a way to resonate with them and let her know her concerns are valid. So I would say, girl, I totally get that. Like, I'm a mom too. Like, I have 2 children. My husband works crazy hours. Like, I get that 100%. But, you know, we also have an amazing sisterhood, or for whatever the reason is, you know, like if she needs to get out of the house, I could totally resonate with that. Like, I get it. I'm cooped up in all the time too. Scentsy has such an amazing sisterhood. We do like parties, or we do team hangouts and stuff like that. Like, find a way to relate to whatever it is that their need is. So it's very important for you to understand what that need is, if that makes sense. Okay. Even if it's just like making some extra cash, a lot of times you'll hear, well, you know, we're strapped for bills right now, or we got a mortgage and we can't afford it. That's when I'd say, I totally get that. Like, I live on Long Island. It's crazy expensive here, but you know what? I joined Scentsy to make some extra money and it turned into this awesome thing. Like, I mean, I think you love it, you know? So find a way to resonate with them. And then, you know, share your experiences to tell them how you overcame that, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'm not going to go on a tangent. I will let Colleen speak for a few, but that's just like, what I would do in every aspect of my business is just share the business opportunity in any way that I can, where I'm, you know, talking about it with people. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. This is so important, you guys. And I know some of you were like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting to be talking about recruiting, like first thing. But guess what? We want to get right into it because you guys have this passion. You guys are like on fire right now. You guys are like knocking out goals, one thing after the other. And this, believe it or not, and some of you may already know, right? This is probably the most important piece to building a team and building a long-lasting business, okay? So we don't want you guys thinking about it and overanalyzing it and just not doing it, okay? Because we find that's what happens with people that have been on our teams for a long time, is that we get right into the parties and then this and then that, right? And they're recruiting becomes like a taboo thing, like, oh, I don't know how to do it. So, you know, Patty and I are just going to share some things that work for us. But again, there's no script. And when I first started, I probably said a lot of stupid sounding things, to be honest, right? But then I realized the more I did it, nobody could tell me what to do. They would tell me what they said, so I would say what they said, right? But it sounded so ridiculous coming from my mouth. Why? Because it wasn't from me. It was from so-and-so, and I'm not so-and-so, right? So you have to just start doing it. The more you do it, the more it will sound like you, and you will have your own script. I promise you, it's something that just has to be done on your account, all right? So getting right into it, I want to share with you something that I do. And again, social media is not everything, but it runs a huge majority of my business, okay? So it does not replace real life relationships and connections that you are going to build outside of social media, okay? That is your disclaimer, and I need you to fully understand that. That being said, okay, I just did a training at World Tour about Social Media Master. And a big thing, like Patty, I relate to a lot of stay-at-home moms too, okay? Because, hi, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Okay. So a big thing that I used as an example was me and my kids were sitting, right, at the movie theater on a Friday afternoon watching, it was like the My Little Pony movie that came out. And it was like 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I posted a picture of us with the popcorn and them like smiling or being silly. And I checked in at the movie theater and was like, there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday afternoon than watching the My Little Pony movie with these two silly faces, right? So number one, I'm not saying, hey, join my team, because you know what? That is salesy and nobody wants salesy. It's so appalling. You're literally repelling people away by saying, join my team. Okay. Because you know what? You don't want people to feel like they're just another number or that you're just trying to advance your business with them. Right. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you and your business. It's about them and what their need is to have Scentsy in their life. Okay. Does everybody understand that? So it's not about why you joined Scentsy. Just like Patty said, you have to be a good listener. Listening is a huge part of recruiting, sponsoring, whatever you want to call it. Okay. It's the same thing, technically. So you have to be a good listener, because when you're paying attention to your prospects, to your audience, to your customers on social media, right? They're saying things right to you and you may not even know it because you may not be paying attention. But, oh, I have my Scentsy glasses on all the time, meaning I'm looking at everybody thinking are they gonna, do they have a need for Scentsy in their life? Are they gonna host a party or are they gonna purchase something, right? And I started with, do they have a need for Scentsy? Like, are they gonna join our journey? Okay. Because we should always start with the opportunity. And when I am watching them on social media, are they complaining about their jobs? Are they complaining or, putting out there that they don't have money to do certain things? Are they working multiple jobs? How about none of those? Do you see them traveling a lot? Right? Now, how would that relate? Because with Scentsy, you can go on multiple free trips a year. I mean, we just added a second free incentive trip that you can earn, not just for yourself, but a guest. So you have to see through their eyes the need to have Scentsy in their life, okay? And so like I was saying with that post that I put of me and my kids at the movie theater, right? I am directly talking to other stay-at-home other moms that maybe want to stay at home, because you know what? They're on Facebook, probably from their desk at work, thinking, what is she doing? How does she get to stay home with her kids and, live that life while I'm at work? And then I get messages in my inbox saying, what are you doing? Okay, do you really make money? And sometimes I have people coming to me, right, just by posting like that on social media without saying, join my team. Do you want extra money? Blah, 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 blah. Like, don't do that, because you need to make the connection between Scentsy and your audience. Okay, there is a need and you've got to find what the need is. Maybe when you want to talk to somebody about the opportunity, maybe you haven't quite figured out what their need is, but you just know, right, that they have amazing people skills, that they're super organized, or that they have a ton of contacts, they're around a lot of people, and you can bring it up to them that way. Okay? Be strategic when you're talking. Be intentional. Don't just word vomit at somebody and be like, blah, 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 blah. Join Scentsy because you can make extra money. Like Patty said, maybe they're a lawyer. They don't care about the extra money, right? Maybe it's about building friendships. Maybe it's about getting out of the house more. Maybe it's about earning free trips. You don't know, but you have to listen and pay attention and figure out where the need is.
Yeah. Can I say something to that?
Yep. I
actually went live on my team page when the $49 joint special came out. So some of you guys may have heard this, but I'm going to share with you guys here what I said. What Colleen said, don't just like word vomit on people. So I know that with the Scentsy promotions and the specials and stuff, we get excited and we want to tell everybody, oh, it's $49 a join, or you could also earn free trips that just open Mexico. Like, it's a new incentive period and new consultants get 1,000 credits right away. Like, woohoo, right? We are so excited about that, and that's great. Like, you should be excited about your business. But think about why that person wants to join, because if, again, you don't have anybody who's interested in traveling, there's no need for you to tell them the fact that we have a New Mexico incentive trip or the fact that they could earn 1,000 credits right away as a new consultant. That can come after you've already initiated that conversation and the conversation starts rolling. But if you know that they're strapped for cash, and maybe you guys have talked about Scentsy before, but they've been going back and forth, the $49 joint special is a perfect way to follow up and say, hey girl, I know we once chatted about Scentsy before, and you mentioned something about like not having enough cash, but honestly, Scentsy could be a great way to, fulfill that if you're looking to make some extra cash. And honestly, this month right now is $49, and you could totally make that back so fast. I'd be more than happy to, tell you how. And just leave it at that. You don't need to go into the trips. You don't need to go into the friendships that you get. And this is another thing too. I always tell my team. So my team page, and I think Colleen does this too, is we open it to Dream Team visitors. Meaning if you have somebody who's interested in joining Scentsy, we allow guest visitors to the page to come and see what it's all about. I always tell my team, do this wisely. I used to be like, because I know the camaraderie that's on my team page. I know how amazing it is. I know that we're all like a family and it's a sisterhood and everybody's getting shout outs and encouraging each other, and it's amazing, right? That can be very overwhelming to somebody who's thinking about joining, who may not care about the sisterhood or anything like that. And they may come into it thinking their business needs to be up to par with everybody else. Like if they come in and they see, oh, this one promoted, this one sold 1,000, like they're going to come in as somebody who's thinking about joining Scentsy, never sold $1 since they've been in it, and think to themselves, oh man, I'm going to have to do that too. Yeah, I can't do that. And I have literally it's been more of a hindrance in my business adding people to my team page than it has. Well, I shouldn't say more, but I've had plenty of times where I've added people and then they decided not to join. And I had to look at that and be like, well, maybe I shouldn't have added them. Maybe it was a little too hyphy on the team page, But like, so think about that. Like if I had somebody who was like I said, needed like an outlet or a friendship or something like that, that's when I would add her to the team page. And I'd say, oh, awesome. We have an awesome team page, girl. Like, why don't you come check it out for a bit, see if it's, your sort of thing or whatever. But if I have someone who's looking to make extra money or looking to travel, I'm not adding them to my team page. And I know that you guys, like from time to time, will see me add people to the team page, like as a visitor, but I want you to know I'm having plenty of conversations off the side because I don't add just everybody to my team page. So just think about that. Colleen, do you guys do that at the Dream Team visitors?
Yes, I pretty much add everybody to my team page.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, I personally, I've just noticed like a dip in when I'm adding people to the team page that it's, for me, I've seen where they decide not to.
Just like she's saying though, be aware of where your prospect stands, right? And don't just add them, feel them out and talk. Again, you got to be a good listener. Okay. It's really about listening and not all the talking, right? Because you could be saying something that's literally driving them away.
What was that? Me and Colleen in Reunion, Kansas City. Remember when we went to that breakout session with Becca and she was talking about the red car that she was telling? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes. So there was a girl, right? There's a woman. She was talking at Reunion and she was saying that when she first joined, she was meeting with a potential, like a Dream Team member, a prospect, right? And so she was at her house and she got her to, she joined her team. And so she was like, awesome, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like you could buy a red Corvette, because she was saying like,
woman needed a car, something like that.
Woman needed a car because her car kept breaking down and sounded awful in front of her son's school, and it was embarrassing, and her car was just not reliable. So the woman was like, yeah, awesome. We could get you a red Corvette. Like, we're going to get you that car. Don't you worry. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Like really putting all these goals on her, right?
Pressure.
So then lots of pressure. So then a few months go by and this woman, the woman that had the broke down car kind of fell off the face of the earth. Like, where did she go? So the woman who recruited her finally saw her and was like, hey, what's going on? Where have you been? Like, I thought you wanted to get that Corvette. Like, you can't waste time, And she was like, I didn't want the red Corvette. You did. All I wanted was a car to get me from A to B. Like, I didn't have the dream and the vision for a red Corvette. Right? So you gotta that was like, whoa.
I know, you guys, this is why, and this is total side note, like, you got to go to reunion 1 because you hear things like that and you're like, damn, like I never put it into perspective like that.
And I'm doing it. I'm like, I'm acting like that.
And that's how, I mean, for me and Colleen, I think for both of us, we've been pretty consistent in recruiting from the beginning. Like, it's just been something that we started to do right away, but there's always room to grow and there's always room to learn. And when we were in there, I remember we looked at each other and we were like, damn, I never thought of it like that. You have to think of, you know, how Scentsy could be a blessing to their need and why do they need this? Because there's no reason, again, for you to tell them all about the things that you know that they can get if they're not interested in it. You know, they have to resonate it within one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes,
that's like a huge thing. I'll never forget that.
It's huge. It like literally turned something on in me and I was like, okay, I need to listen more. I need to listen and not push my goal on other people because everybody wants to do something different. Everybody joins for so many different reasons. But you guys, you know why Patty and I promoted to director in less than a year, right? And we promoted boom, 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 is because we were sponsoring right away. And I'm telling you, and I know some of you joined like a second ago, but you know what? It's never too early to bring somebody on because we have such a supportive network within our teams, within our upline, our sideline, our downline, that it's going to be just fine. Okay. There is no too soon to start doing this. Mm-hmm. Please don't like, oh my gosh, I just joined. No, it's fine.
And for those of you who just joined, like what I always tell, you know, my new consultants that come on is that think about people in your circle, like your friends or people who you know that you think would be amazing at this with you. Like you could totally do this together. I think that that's a great way to start off as a new consultant because you have your person right there with you and you're doing the fun Scentsy things. And it really makes all the difference when you have someone along the side with you, you know, to do that. So I always suggest if you're a new consultant, like Colin said, don't think that, you know, it's out of your reach. I think you just have to be willing to talk to people about Scentsy. Sorry, my kids are crying in the background. My husband's getting them.
Always. It's never, we're always going to be in this state of chaos. So, see, you guys can do this. You can do this. Exactly. It's done on purpose.
And for those of you sitting there saying, congratulations, look at you. I give a big round of applause. Yes. You know what? See? Like, it's easy to say, oh, well, you know, I have my babies. Like, we're all moms, most of us, and, like, we get it. You know, regardless if you're a mom, mom or not, like, it's all about prioritizing and all that other stuff. But
so you guys, I want to say that, okay, so there's a saying in Scentsy that what you do now has a full turnaround in 90 days. Okay. So if you've been with Scentsy for a little bit and you're not sponsoring, booking parties, all that jazz, right? If you weren't doing that 90 days ago, then you're not getting anything in return right now. Get it? Right? That you're not sponsoring people right now. So you like, with sponsoring, okay, it's a completely different beast than booking parties. Like you can ask anybody to book a party. You can just be like, boom, 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 right? With sponsoring, it is like a relationship building business, okay? And Scentsy in general is a relationship building business, okay? So sometimes it takes people a very long time to feel okay with taking the leap. Now we know once we do it, every single one of us are like, my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner, right? Yes. But for them, they have no idea. And they're still trying to swallow the idea of like, okay, they're weighing pros and cons. They're trying to figure out what's going on, right? So know that may not turn around in a month, in 90 days. I don't know if there's any of you on here, but there's some people that I literally have worked with and have tried to validate their feelings, their concerns, and their fears for a long time. So what do? I have to be having the conversation everywhere with everyone. It's a numbers game, just like booking parties is, okay? So you've got to swallow your fear, take a deep breath, and just do it. Start with where you feel like is the easiest route to go. And you want to know what? That we can touch on really quick. You know who your most obvious prospects are? Your customers. Your customers are your easiest prospects. You want to know why? Because they like Scentsy, right? Because they're kind of acting like a consultant, right? As a host. And while they're being your host, right? Your host coaching them. So if you're host coaching them, the chances of them having a successful experience and a successful party should be pretty high if you're host coaching, right? So they're going to have a good experience. They're going to have a good taste in their mouth. And as they're doing these little tasks that you give them when you're host coaching, you can feed them confidence and be like, girl, you're so good. Having the joint conversation does not need to be this big sit down dinner and having the stuffy conversation like, okay, so I really need to ask you something and I know you're going to be nervous. No, you don't even have to go that route. You can, while you're host coaching, you can be like, girl, you are so good at this. You could totally do what I do. Right? Mm-hmm. Like little hint, wink, wink. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It doesn't have to be like this big, hard, bad conversation. So as you go along through the steps, you're giving them confidence. Then, right? You guys know what I'm getting to? Then when you're about to close out the party or before you get to that point, you can flip them. That is I have built a good size of my team through host flipping. Okay. So they're also, they're obviously there because of all the reasons that I just said, right? So when you say, you know what, I have something to ask you. What would you think about doing what I do? Because you're clearly awesome at this. Like, look at the turnout here, or look at how many orders you have. You can literally take all the orders from their party, total it up, show them what they would make, the percentage off that, right? What they could get in host rewards themselves by joining. They would already be working towards certified with those points, that PRV. And just ask them, you have nothing to be scared of, right? Because you're already starting them off on the right foot. People are so thrilled when you say, hey, you could join right now. Host flipping is very real and it's very, very successful. It can be very successful. Okay. So that is one piece of recruiting that you can take that avenue, right? Patty, do you want to go over? When you're approaching people about the joint opportunity, they are always going to come at you with reasons why they can't or they shouldn't or they're unsure, okay? We have literally a list of reasons that we hear in and day out. And we're going to tell you, okay, so you need to be ready for these excuses because they're saying it out loud because they're nervous. So like Patty said, you need to validate their concerns and then you need to help them understand that there's a way around it. There's nothing to be nervous about, but validate those feelings because they're real. Because I was there before and was nervous, right? Sometimes I forget what it feels like to before I take that leap, right? So if somebody says, I can't, I'm really busy. I'm too busy to do that though, right? Like you can tell that they're thinking about it, but I'm too busy though. Yeah. So instead, you could say, I know, I understand. Okay, well, when the time's ready. No, guys, you need to be brave and you need to say, I totally understand. Guys, girl, listen, I have 4-year-old twins, okay? And I have the same 24 hours in a day and know that it is a struggle sometimes. My kids literally are hanging from my limbs 24 hours a day. But the good thing is, and I'm not joking, and Patty can tell you, the good thing is that you can literally run a successful business if you spend 15 to 20 minutes every day on your business or, a few times a week consistently, you can run a super successful business. It only takes minutes. And I'm not saying that to get her to join my team. I'm saying that, you guys, because it's true. Because what have we been doing with you guys? 15 to 20 minute challenges.
Yeah, I want you guys also to think about the conversations, like when you joined, right? Whoever your sponsor is, think about the conversations that you had with your sponsor. And those fears or those rationalizations that you had before, what was that conversation like? Because they're always going to be the same. It's either going to be, I don't have enough time. I'm too busy. I don't have enough confidence. I'm not a good salesperson. Like the list goes on and on of things why people will be have those reservations. And I'll tell you guys, I didn't even get a chance to respond to her. I'm going to respond to her in a little bit, but I literally just got an objection message back to me today about this girl I was talking to at the beginning of the month. And literally it was like, I could have read it with my eyes closed, but it was like, listen, I've been thinking really long and hard about this because this is the thing, it weighs on them. Okay. I've been thinking really long and hard about this, and I just don't know if the time is right now, and I just don't know if I have enough time to devote to a business at the moment. I haven't responded to her because I'll respond like, you know, when I'm able to, but, and that's the thing too, as a side note, don't feel like you need to jump on. Like, I know that we get excited when it's like, oh, we got a new recruit, but you don't need to be at anybody's beck and call, one. Two, I mean, to be there, yes, of course, right? So you want to be able to help them, but you're also setting a bad intention if you are immediately responding message after message after message after message, and then guess what? They join, and all of a sudden you're not as, you know, quick to answer their messages. They're going to be like, what the hell? She only was answering my messages because she wanted me to join. Like, so think about that. You're a business owner and you control your hours. So don't feel like you need to be jumping on, you know, it's fine. Like, they're considering you as their sponsor. That's completely fine. As long as you're continuing to answer their questions and help them out, then it's going to be fine. But you know, putting those fears aside. And so when I go to message her back, I'm going to let her know, because this is the real and honest truth. Like, I totally get it, girl. Like, I'm busy, just like Colleen said, like, you know, but this is the type of thing that you can do, you know, like she said, 15, 20 minutes here, and I will help you. I will show you how you can do that. You know, I think sometimes people just need to hear that, because a lot of times people don't have confidence within themselves. And sometimes they just need somebody to tell them that they can do it and that they can overcome it. And you never know, just by you feeding them that little bit of confidence might make them see the bigger picture. Because that's what the hardest thing is about recruiting, is getting people to see the bigger picture, because direct sales gets a bad name and everybody thinks that it's weird if you're in, you know, a pyramid scheme or whatever. Like, they don't think it's real. So you have to try and get them to overcome that through your own experiences and understanding why they want to do this. Why do they want to join? And, you know, putting those fears to, you know, validating their concern and letting them know how you overcame that through your own experiences. So for all of you here, I'm sure Scentsy has blessed you in one way or another. You know, you have to think about, if you have someone who says they don't have enough time, think about you. How do you run your business right now? I mean, whether you're doing this full time or whether you're doing it, you know, while you're working, you're still doing it, right? So just show them that. That's all you have to do. You don't feel like you need to know all the answers. I mean, we still don't know all the answers, Colleen and I. Like, we're still learning on a day-to-day. Half the time when I do trainings, you guys, I'll Google right before I do my training, just to like spark things in my memory, you know, in my mind, of things that I want to talk about. But like, you know, it's just helping people get over those fears, I think. And recruiting in general is just something, like Colleen said, on average, 90-day turnaround, but sometimes longer than that. Like, I've had people watch my Scentsy journey from over 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden, 2 years later, they join. You know, I've had people who were ready to do it right then and there, and then they, all of a sudden, the fear sets in, and they're like, no, I don't want to do it. And then months pass, and the next thing you know, I follow up with them, hey, girl, it's 49 to join, or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're ready. Timing has to be right for people too, okay? You can't force people into this. It has to be right for them. So make sure that you are continually following up. Don't ever write anybody off. Don't ever prejudge people or assume that they're not, you know, that they wouldn't be good at it or that they wouldn't want to do it because she works or whatever, because you never know that. You never know what somebody's going through. So be brave and be willing to ask people. And the simplest way you can ask someone in a very direct way is, you know, think about how Scentsy could be a blessing in their life, right? Maybe they need some extra cash, or maybe you just think that they would be really good at it. You can casually just say to them, hey girl, so, you know, I know that I saw that Facebook post that you put up about, you know, needing, you know, losing your job or needing some extra cash or whatever. And so I was just wondering, I know this sounds crazy. Like, I say that to people because I kind of get on their level. Like, it doesn't have to be salesy. It doesn't have to be weird. Like, hey, have you ever thought about joining my team? No, I'm like, listen, girl, I know this sounds crazy, but have you ever thought about doing what I do? You know, I mean, I saw that you just said you lost your job, and honestly, Scentsy could be a great way to make some extra income. I mean, totally cool if not, but I just wanted to throw it out there because I think you'd love it. Something like that, you know? You can do it very casually. It doesn't have to be the scary, daunting thing. And I know coming into it, it is very scary and daunting. I had these same exact fears myself when I came into this. I was like, one of the 2 questions that I asked my sponsor, okay, right before I joined, Kristen Ingalls, 2 questions that will always stand out to me. It's pretty much the same questions that I hear now. I said, 1, do I got to recruit people? literally said that. I was like, do I gotta recruit people? And the second thing I said was, do I gotta go to weird conventions? And now I'm like,
things.
and now I'm like, Scentsy Spirit!
Yeah.
Go to reunion!
God, that's so funny.
And recruit all the
things
people
that you cannot get around. Like you have to
exactly. And what she said to me was, no, but you're gonna want to. That was literally her words, like verbatim. No, but you're gonna want to. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't know either that I had to recruit, and I had no idea. But then when I saw the big picture and I saw that I wanted to be a director, like I joined and I was like, I want to be a director. And I was like, all right, well, I got to do it. So what do I have to do? Like, I'm very like quiet naturally. Like I was not on social media, like flaunting myself around at all, which actually there's a few things that I wrote down as Patty was talking to me, because she literally inspires me, like with what she says, because we'll get into it down the road, but you've got to find a person. So listen, right? On social media, again, it's not the end all be all, but a huge portion of my business is through social media. And when you're on social media, right, you need to make sure that you are putting yourself out there. Like anybody can do this, right? So if you're throwing yourself out there, like join my team, like, you know, all those salesy things that you say you don't want to do. Okay. So don't do that. So what do? Instead of selling yourself, your business, products, whatever it is, okay? But I'm specifically talking about recruiting right now. You want to share. Share what? Share your life. So I pick about 5 things of myself that I share on social media, okay? Because when people join me, a lot of the times they're not joining like Scentsy. They've seen what I have, what I'm offering, and they want that. Okay. So I share that I'm a stay-at-home mom. I share my weight loss journey. I share the fact that I'm a crazy coffee lover. I share that I love animals, that I'm a foodie, that I love natural, healthy things, right? And you know what that does? Number one, it builds a trust and a credibility with me and my audience, right? Because you kind of feel like you know people sometimes through social media, even though like you may not have ever met them, but you like, oh yeah, I know them. Oh, your son, how is he? Like
you
weirdo.
Like he stalked me before.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, hi, little Zach. And he's like, I'm like, you know, it's Auntie Colleen. Like, right? Because you feel like you see them on social media. So you know what that does, you guys? Okay, like I said, you're building like a trust and like a rapport with your audience. But what's happening is you're like humanizing yourself. So I'm not just calling the Scentsy consultant that is like looking to advance my business, build a team, sell some products. No, I am literally the girl next door from Quincy, Massachusetts that half of everybody on my team grew up with. I'm a stay-at-home mom, just like you. I struggle with my weight, just like you. You know, all these things, love coffee, that relate to more than half of the people that I'm friends with. I am relating, I'm bridging the connection between the business, what I'm offering, and them, right? Do you understand? Because then they see that anybody can do this. Look at her. I know Colleen. I know she wouldn't join any kind of BS nonsense. Yeah. I know that she's the girl next door. If she can do it, then I can too, right? That's what you got to do, you guys. And the other thing, there's 2 things that Patty made me think about, right? Is following up. You have to ask somebody sometimes 6 or 7 times before they join. Like you can't write somebody off. When they say no, it means not right now. Like okay, I'm going to put you in my back pocket and we're going to talk later. Or literally, they're going to be on your team soon. You don't give up on people. You don't. Because again, timing is everything. Many people that are on Beantown Accents right now said, I know, I'm not. Okay? I'm not doing that.
Think about like when you joined Scentsy, how long did it take for you to join? You know, I mean, some of us quicker than others, of course. And obviously everybody's journey is different. So whatever works for you is work for you. It's not like it's a right or wrong way or right or wrong time. But like, just really think about how long it took you to join Scentsy. Like I said, I've literally had conversations with people like when I first started, and then, 2 years later, they're like, I'm ready now. It's just a thing that.
All right, I'm ready.
And as far as social media goes, I mean, again, a lot of it has to be done off of social media, like all the follow up and making sure you're checking in with them. But like creating the curiosity, if you guys want people to come to you, now don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people that I ask that I say, I think you would be great at. Have you ever thought of this before? Right? Plenty of people that I'm at parties with and I'm listening to the cues and all that other stuff. I literally yesterday at my event, guys, I have a potential recruit yesterday at my event and I got her to book a party in March and we're probably going to flip it to her launch party because I'm listening for the cues that she's saying. And then I offered the fact that, you know, she was interested in the Stargaze warmer and I said, oh, hey, you're interested in a Stargaze warmer. You know, it's $49, same price to join this month and you get this whole kit right here, right? So like I do things like that. But like if we're strictly talking social media and if you want to get it so that people are attracted to you and who come to you, right? One, I'm going to tell you two things. One, I want you to Google, okay, on your own time. And I maybe do it this week if you can. Do some research, okay? Because we all have to always be willing to learn and grow on your own. Invest in trainings or even YouTube or Google. Look up attraction marketing. Okay, because attraction marketing, one, is huge right now, and it's going to give you all the golden nuggets about promoting on social media and how to attract people to you. Okay, it's all about creating a curiosity. It's all about making people say, huh, what is she doing? Like, I think I want to do that too. And I actually just talked about this on the team training that I did just a bit ago. So as soon as I get that video uploaded, I will put it on this page for you guys so you can go back and watch it yourself. But I go into all the details about attraction marketing and how to create that curiosity so that people are looking at your post. And I actually give a script on there. Okay, so they say in this business, real quick, facts tell, stories sell. Instead of selling a fact about a product, right? It's $49 to join Scentsy this month. Okay, what is that resonating with anybody with? No, they don't care about that, especially if they have money. They don't care that it's $49 to join, right? But if you say, oh my gosh, this business has changed my life. Like I literally have never in my entire working career have ever been able to work from home. And here I am 2 years later, working from home, making my own schedule, being my own boss, gaining all this confidence from my business. I would have never known about it if it didn't start off with one little sample. Doesn't that sound more inviting than, hey, $49 to join this month? Doesn't that sound like if you had someone on your friends list who hated their freaking job and had children and didn't want to go back to work and they wanted to be home with their kids and they saw your post and came across it and said, huh, wait a second, hold on. She never has been able to work from home and now all of a sudden she is. And what is this? I need to know more. It's creating that curiosity by storytelling. In this business, we are paid storytellers. And so you have to find a way to share it versus selling it and telling a story. So I kind of go into a tip. I'll give you guys right here real quick since we're on the subject. But please watch the video of the training that I did when I put it up because I go into way more detail in it. But I've done some research on like posting on Facebook and things that are like a way to post, like a template of a way you can post. Now, it has to be genuine. It has to be coming from you. So there's no like real cookie cutter way to do it. But you start off with what's called a hook. So a way to like, you know, get their attention, right? So I might say my first line on my post, it might be a selfie of me and it'll say, I'm just using this as an example. And I said it in thing. 9 to 5 dropout, period, right? That's like, whoa, 9 to 5 dropout. What is that? That's a hook right there. And then you start off with the way that you were before, and then you turn it into how you are now, and then you end it with a takeaway. I know that sounds like really crazy when I say it, but I'll put up like a screenshot of like an example post of how that would be. So I could say 9 to 5 dropout, period, right? Next thing I can say something like I just said, before this business, my confidence was just, I would never be able to come on here and take a selfie before. I mean, I'm just using that as an example. I've been pretty confident taking selfies. I'm just saying, you know, I would say I was never confident in taking selfies before, but I've gained so much confidence through this company. And I've literally turned my whole mentality around, you know, just by living this day-to-day life. And here I am now. And if it wasn't for a tiny little sample to make my house smell amazing, I would have never done this before. Like that's the takeaway, right? So you start off with something to get them. And like I said, I just watched a video because I go into details of how you can do that. But that's how you share stories on Facebook. You find a way to connect. You find something that's going to be intriguing, interesting, inspirational, educational, People love to give their posts and their opinions and stuff like that. I mean, this is all social media talking, but a way to create that curiosity so that people are attracted to what you're doing. And when you do that, you will have more people who are attracted to you and attracted to your business and want to know more about the business opportunity. Okay. Yeah, and then it'll get to a point where you feel like you don't, I mean, you will still have to ask, but it won't feel like this overwhelming, like, oh my God, I got to ask somebody. Like, so before we end this, okay, I want you guys to think of a dream team list. Does anybody have a dream team list going right now?
Hold on, I have one more thing to say. Are you giving like a challenge right now?
No. I was just going to kind of give like something
Yep.
that would be important to do. So like first of all, is that if you have a dream team list, whether you have one team member, whether you have, or not team members, people on your mind who you think will be good at Scentsy, right? Does anybody have any dream team lists going at the moment? Awesome. Keep those people in mind, keep them on your list, and, think about the conversations that you have with them. One, think about the last time you followed up with them, okay? Because if you haven't followed up with them in a bit, it's probably a good time to do it now when it's $49 to join, right? But also think about why they want to join, those conversations that you had before, because if they're ready to travel the world, right? Like let's say they wanted to join because they want to travel the world and they saw all the trips that you were going on or the events or whatever. I'm just using that as an example. And you come to them and you say, hey girls, $49 to join. It may not resonate with them, but you could say, oh my gosh, Scentsy just announced this new incentive trip and new consultants get 1,000 credits right away. Like it's something to connect to them. So think about your dream team list that you have. And if you haven't followed up with them since February, go ahead and check in with them. And we're going to be giving you guys like the daily challenges throughout this week or whatever. But, keep adding people to your list. Okay. The parties that you're doing, always think about how Scentsy could be a blessing to at least one person at that party. Listen for those cues, add those people to your list, add them to your social media. Okay. I met a Mary Kay consultant yesterday. And I literally was like, oh, are you on Facebook? Because even though she's doing Mary Kay, listen, if someone is in their hustle and they love it, I'm not going to sit here and try and recruit them, as I cannot stand when people do that to me. But I know she's in the industry. She may know people. She may know friends. And maybe someday she might want to join my team. Who knows? So like always be continually meeting people through events, through parties. Like that's how you grow your network, really. And the more you make it look fun on social media, the more interesting it's going to be. And then the more, I don't want to say easier, but the more luck you'd have in having more conversations off of social media, if you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So sorry, you can say what you wanted to say.
That's okay. I just want to say one thing, okay, to like really end this and have you guys think about this. I asked within the last month, I asked anybody that I had personally sponsored, what was it about me or the opportunity or whatever it was that made them want to join under me, okay, that made them say yes. And I had a few different answers, but you want to know what pretty much the same things were? Number one, my confidence, okay? Number two, my positivity and my enthusiasm and my love for the products and what I do, okay? That like, and I want you guys to know everything that you need to do this, you already have. Okay. I already had all of those things. And naturally, I didn't really have any of those things. But I put myself out there and now I literally comes like second nature to me. Okay. So those things are what attracted my new team to me. Okay. So I want you guys to think about that. You have everything that you already need to get the job done and to be successful and build. Okay.
I just want to say one more thing. I didn't mean to cut you up, but I was reading the comments here that somebody met a lip sense person and suggested them. So other people in direct sales industry, like I said, I met a Mary Kay consultant. It's very wishy-washy, you guys, especially for you, newer consultants that may not experience this yet or know this yet, but please hear us when we say, be careful when, you are connecting with people in other companies as far as sharing your business, like with them, okay? Or hosting parties for them or things like that. Because what happens when you do that, you are literally handing your network over on a silver platter to people, okay? So I used to like host parties for other direct sellers, and I've literally had, or like I have plenty of people from other direct companies that I buy from, Like I have a posh girl, I have a unique girl, right? But I'm not really hosting parties for them. And they know this. Like when I've had people will message me and they'll say, you know, hey, you want to host a party? I say to them, I say, you know, although I appreciate the offer, it doesn't really align with my business practices, but I will totally remain a customer to you. Or I tell them like, you know, I know so many unique consultants, like I don't want to step on anybody's toes, like please understand, like it is what it is. But I'm very careful with that because I've gotten burned. I've gotten it where I have shared, you know, like, you know, I've posted on social media about like a particular consultant, like one of my direct selling lady, like a face mask or something that I put on. And because I'm sharing that and I already have a network of people who know, like, and trust me, they're going to trust my opinions. If I say, hey, this mask is so good on my face, right? You should go to so-and-so to buy it. Guess what? I just handed over all those people, my own team members, you guys, my own team members gone here and purchased. And it's not to say that I'm not supporting others because I am, absolutely. But I'm handing over my team members to them. And guess what? That team member joined her team with Scentsy and she joined her team. Okay.
That's what you don't want.
Yeah. It's a real thing. And you know what? I'm not going to get butthurt over it because like it is what it is. You know, my whole thing is don't get attracted by shiny objects. Like you have an opportunity here with Scentsy and it's very easy to fall into the space of putting your hands in a million pots of, you know, oh, I want to do that and I can make money this way and I can make money that way. I promise you, guaranteed, you stick it out in this, put your full effort into Scentsy in 15 to 20 minutes a day, doing income producing things for your business and be dedicated and consistent, you won't need any other direct selling company. You will see that growth in your business and share that business opportunity with people and let other people see the vision in this business of where they can take themselves by you asking them how, you know, what it is that they want through Scentsy. How can they see Scentsy enhancing their life? Why are they interested in it? And how you can share that with them and let them know how they can do it too. I promise you, if you stay committed to it, you will see that growth. But just, you know, I just wanted to put that out there. Because it is good because other people in direct selling companies, they kind of understand the hustle. They get the industry and they may be able to like tag you if someone's looking for a vendor event or something like that. Like they'll do things like that. It's good to have them in your network and they may refer you if they, you know, one of their friends needs a Scentsy girl, like they'll know that, but just be mindful of that. You know, it's not to say that you can't host parties for them, but maybe don't post all about it on Facebook or only invite your friends and family or whatever, you know, just be mindful.
And if they're doing their job, they're going to try to recruit your audience.
Right, exactly.
I would be.
Exactly. That's the ultimate goal here, right? Is that we want to recruit people. I've literally had people where like Colleen said, she would too. Like I've had my people who are in other direct selling companies join my team or host a party for me. And then next thing you know, I'm recruiting their friends that were there. That's their mission too. Okay.
Like, you know, that emoji.
I've literally had that happen. And so when that happened, that was a big eye opener to me. And I was like, never again. And I will go ahead and I'll support other direct sellers and I'll buy from them, whatever, but I'm going to be very mindful about who I am sharing this with. Okay. So anyway, anything else you want to add? Does anybody have any questions or want to add anything before we get off the call?
Okay. Well, once you guys can ask questions as you think about them, whatever it is, because this is an important piece of your business and there's actually no way around it. So does
anybody have any questions in the comments?
Breathe, take a deep breath and just do it. Take it in small pieces, do it one foot in front of the other, but move. Guys, like slow progress, a little progress is progress. You've just got to do it. And I tell you, it will be the biggest turnaround in your business when you start building a team. I promise you. Okay?
Yeah. And we see all your comments and stuff in here. So thank you guys so much for your, sharing everything with us. And, it's just really awesome to see you guys bloom and stuff. So we're excited. So our first official week starts tomorrow, okay? Monday, Monslay, and we will have our daily challenges for that. And then, like I said, I'll upload that, the social media training that I did if you guys want to watch that, which I suggest you do. And then look up attraction marketing if you're looking, with the whole social media recruiting and all stuff. It's important to know. So anyway, guys, we'll talk to you later. Have a good week. Bye.